What's up guys, it's CG. So this is going to be a thorough review of Greenwich Village by Bond 9. First I'm going to share data, what numerous voters had to say about various aspects of the fragrance. Then I'm going to share what Google AI had to say about the scent profile. My wife and I are going to share our first impressions. And finally, I'm going to go away, wear it, and come back with my overall opinion. Without further ado, let's get this started. So this is classified as an amber floral fragrance. Bond 9 actually doesn't list the notes in order from the top to the base, but they list all the notes that are in the composition, which are cassis, lychee, mandarin, peony, water lily, patchouli, jasmine petals, ambrox, peach musk, vanilla, oak moss, and praline. The quality score, the overall rating is a 4.29 out of 5. That's out of 885 votes. For gender, nobody really considers this fragrance to be masculine. Some people consider it to be very feminine leaning, or unisex. And all three of those are pretty much at 30% of the votes. For occasion, it was most highly voted for daily and leisure, followed by night out, indicating that this is a more casual fragrance that you'd wear in the evening. For longevity, I mean, it's good to know that nobody really considers this to be a weak fragrance. The results vary from average to eternal, with most votes going towards it being strong, but not super strong and not average. For sillage, which is the scent bubble and how much it pushes out, nobody really considers it to be weak or super strong in that regard. Most votes went to average, followed by strong. For the most appropriate season, it got pretty even across the board for fall, spring, and summer. Winter came in at only 14%. So that indicates that this isn't really for very cold days, but it can pretty much work in all other weather. This is what Google AI had to say about the scent profile. Imagine strolling through a cool, crisp night in New York's Greenwich Village. Bond number 9 Greenwich Village captures that vibe in a bottle. It's a mix of sweet and fresh scents. At first sniff, you might get a little blast of juicy fruit like lychee or mandarin orange. Then as the scent settles in, some flowers like jasmine and peony peek through. The real magic happens towards the end. Think warm vanilla and a hint of chocolate, like a decadent dessert. It's not your typical girly floral or super strong cologne. People say it works for both guys and girls, and it's a good choice for spring or fall weather. And just an interesting fact, this fragrance is named after Greenwich Village, which is a neighborhood on the west side of Lower Manhattan in New York City. Beginning in the early 20th century, and especially since the beat movement of the early 1950s, Greenwich Village has become a mecca for creative radicals. Artists, poets, jazz musicians, and guitar-playing folk and blues singers from all over the United States. So this is named after an area of New York that's kind of like a hippie, artistic area. So this one is coming and opening up with like almost a cotton candy soap vibe, like just straight off the bat, like interesting. I could see how a lot of people would think that this leans a little feminine, but it smells really good, just right off the opening, kind of like a cotton candy soapy freshness, bubblegum fragrance. Just judging on the opening, like it's pretty unique and it smells pretty good. Just on that, I would give it like an 8.5 maybe.
Okay, so very airy, if air had a smell that is really good, it almost has like that effect that like saffron has on fragrance, but with a sweetness to it. Would I say it's masculine? Not really. I would call it unisex. Right down the middle. I give this a 7.5.
All right, so my opinion of Greenwich Village is I personally love the fragrance. Like I would rank it a 9. I would say it's full bottle worthy for me. But at the same time, I would not recommend people go out and get this. Definitely sample it first, because it opens up pretty feminine. Like, I showed it to a friend at work and he likes a lot of the things that I show him. But this one, he was like, absolutely not. He wouldn't even spray it on himself. He smelt it out the tip and just sprayed it on paper. And he said it smelled like a girl shampoo or a feminine product. And I kind of understand where he's coming from. There are fragrances out there that lean slightly feminine, that I'm aware of that, but I just don't care because they smell so good to me. Like, another example is Lyra by Xerjoff. I know it leans a little feminine on that spectrum, but it just smells so good that I don't care. Greenwich Village is that. It's one of the best things I've smelt. Just on that, it smells great. And if I had to describe it, I would say it's almost like a bubblegummy cotton candy sweetness with soapy freshness and like aroma chemicals that are just making it fresh. And it sounds disgusting, like you think cotton candy bubblegum, but in reality it's blended so well and it's like the perfect amount of sweet with freshness on it. And then you have like lychee coming in, which is a fruit that's kind of making it, giving it like a slight Delina vibe, but really just that fruit of lychee is just so incredible to me. It's one of the most addictive fruits I've ever smelt. But I also can see why this composition is just really not for everybody. I'd almost say it's like a turquoise shirt too. Like, definitely not casual, not formal, very casual, very playful. It could be too playful. It could be too young, just like wearing a turquoise shirt would be. But when you have a collection like mine, you know, it's something that you really don't have. Like, the smell of it, it gives you like a turquoise neon light retro vibe, which I don't have. And I personally think if other people pick it up in the air, they're going to be very focused on how good you smell. I don't think they're going to be sitting back thinking, oh, he smells like a girl. You know, I think it's just unique and they're going to be like, wow, what is that? Performance-wise, very long-lasting, almost eternal. Like, whole day, it was still there, and it projects for sure. It's very room-filling. So, I mean, I would give it a 9. I would say it's full bottler worthy for me. And but at the same time, I think it's going to be something that is very polarizing, and some people are just absolutely not. But yeah, I hope you guys got some from this video. Be sure to check out my Bond 9 playlist for more videos that follow this format about fragrances from that brand. Also, subscribe for future content.